Alright, today's video is going to be a little different. I got a wild hair up my rear and decided I was going to go buy a brand new motorcycle. I've been looking at them in the magazines and all the reviews and everything of the new 2018 Harleys. The Fat Bob really sung to me. I called my local dealership. They happen to have a 114 Fat Bob in stock. I went up there, looked at it, came home with it. I've had time to click off a couple hundred miles on it now. I'm still trying to knock the new off of it, but I figured I'd give those that might be interested in picking one up or just curious about the new Harleys just a quick little, what I think about it. For those of you that didn't know, they killed off the Dyna line, so now everything's based off of a Softail. They've got the Heritage, the Street Bob, the Lowrider, the Fat Bob. The Fat Bob has the most, how would you say, different styling cues from the traditional Harley. It has the kind of rectangular LED headlight, dual disc brakes, kind of upswept exhaust pipes. Very cool looking, very non-Harley. I think that it's something that they're trying to do to talk to people more my age, not your traditional Harley riders, not the ones that grew up, riding king queen seats and girder front ends in the 70s. So we'll take a look at the bike and I'll talk about some of the quirks and some of the great stuff and just let you know what I think. Alright, aesthetically, this is kind of a make or break point for the bike. A lot of people really like the LED headlight. A lot of people, I don't know, maybe it has to grow on. It has inverted show of forks, dual disc brakes. That was, and these brakes actually work. If you've ever ridden like a Touring, an Ultra Glide, or a Road Glide, or something like that, yeah, they have dual disc brakes, but they still don't stop worth a darn. These binders have floating rotors. And it will drag you down in a heartbeat. You probably do an endo on them if you wanted to. The inverted forks do a great job of keeping the bike planted. I've leaned over enough that I could almost chewed my heel off before I thought about it. Fast, man. This 114 will rip your arms off. It's the new Milwaukee 8 motor that's counterbalanced. And that allowed them to actually solid mount it to the frame instead of rubber mounts. So it's back kind of old school Harley. You've got this, it comes factory with the swing out license plate carrier mount. You've got a real fat rear tire. I think it's a 180. The rims are kind of cool. They're got that Harley right on the rim. It's a Dunlop 180/70/16. I think it's 16's front and rear. Even the rear disc is a floating rotor. You've got this hydraulic preload adjuster right here, and it actually works. My wife and I were riding 2 up, and she was complaining that every pothole we hit, she was feeling through her back. I was able to reach down and adjust the hydraulic preload and soften it up enough that she actually noticed that it took away the jarring bolts. Now, some things that don't come with the bike. This is where Harley kicks you in the ass. When you this docking hardware, this is like a $50 add-on. Then the Sissy Bar is their hold fast line. That docking hardware can be used to hold touring luggage, all kinds of stuff, saddlebags, but you got to buy that separately. It doesn't come with the bike. If you want a Sissy Bar, yeah, you got to buy it separately, of course, but not only do you have to buy the docking hardware, you buy the Sissy Bar, you also have to buy the back pad. So they get you for 3 different pieces. Now, I'm already on my second back pad. This has got to be about the dumbest way to mount a back pad to the Sissy Bar. All it is a friction fit, and it squeezes. My wife, she's vertically challenged, so when she went to get up, she hit her backside on it, pushed it down, it slipped, and somewhere down the highway, it Well, I already got a scuff on this one, and I had it on 20 minutes. And somehow down the highway, she lost the back pad. So I'm on my second one at $75 a pop. The sissy bars also come in two heights. This is the standard height. I had gotten the short height, which the back pad comes down to about, and top of the back pad's about here. So this one's about that much longer. The normal back pad comes down about here. My wife did not like the short back pad. She said it felt like she was gonna fall off the back. So I went and exchanged it and got the standard height one. Some weird things, some things that really suck. When you're riding and you come to a stop, right here will fry your inner thigh. I have to keep my foot up on the brake or put my foot up on the shifter side and lean away from the motor. It will cook you. This exhaust, I really like mid controls. This one comes with what they're called forward controls. I'm going to say they're almost extended mids because they offer an extended forward control option. With this 2-into-1-into-2 exhaust, you can't fit mids on there. It takes up the space where the mids go. So this exhaust is going to go. Two Brothers has an exhaust out that looks really cool. And also this thing sounds anemic. It has no soul. You know, yeah, loud pipes save lives, yada, yada, yada. But this thing, it just sounds like a sewing machine. It doesn't have the typical Harley sound. So the pipes are going to go. The 114, it has plenty of performance. I mean, I've ridden R1s. I owned an RC51. I've owned a CBR 600RR. And this is the best performing Harley I've ever put my butt on. You know, I've ridden the Buells. I had a Buell Ulysses, and this thing just rocks. The motor is fantastic. Now we'll see how well they hold up, being the new Milwaukee line. Another weird quirk. If you look, the bar is actually 1.25 inches. So if you were to go on and you want to put aftermarket handlebars on, these risers, you're not going to find too many handlebars that are going to fit. They might make spacers, or you're probably going to have to change the risers out. One other weird thing is you would think that you spend this much money, cruise control would come standard. Nope. Yay Harley. It's a $270 add-on, and you have to have the dealer activate the cruise control option in the ECM using Digital Technician. Some things you would think that Harley would have fixed. Stay up with the times. These are regular incandescent bulbs. They could have easily integrated the turn signals into the brake light. No idea. You know, this is just a reflector. Why they didn't just put a brake light with integrated turn signals, no idea. And they're not even LEDs. They are regular incandescent bulbs. The same thing with the front. You know, they go all out and they give you this super cool LED headlight, and they give you incandescent bulb turn signals. Why? Why would you do that? All right, let's see the front. The front is a Dunlop, and it's a 150. So we've got a 180 on the rear, 150 on the front. Even though it's a wide tire, the tip in is still pretty good. I don't have any issues with it. I really like it. So I think that's pretty much it for the bike. I haven't really found much I don't like with it, other than that it tries to cook my leg. The bars are kind of weird and fat. So if you don't like the bars, you're going to be kind of stuck with them. I have the gas cap vibrates and rattles on me. The dealer told me to bring it back. They'll take a look at it. I just haven't had a chance yet. But I don't know. I highly recommend it for anybody that's looking to upgrade. That you give the new 2018s a shot. The seat's really comfortable. It's got enough friction to hold your butt in when you're trying to do maneuvers. You can actually use your knees to help steer this bike. Before my Dyna, you couldn't. I mean, you were at the mercy of the handlebars. This one will accept the little knee input, so you can lean it over. The seat's got enough of a rise in the back that it kind of holds you in there when you lay into it. I think that's about all she wrote on it. Oh yeah, the kickstand. You better make sure that it's down all the way forward and all the way leaned over, or you will drop your bike. It's some kind of jiffy lock, something or another. Just make sure it's all the way forward, and when you lean it over, my wife almost had a heart attack at the gas station. I didn't let it finish leaning over before I kind of let go of the bike, and it slid a little bit. She was about ready to lay herself down beneath the bike to save the bike. But yeah, there you have it. 2018 Harley Fat Bob, Milwaukee 8 motor, 114. Alright, so we've taken a look at the bike, and I like it. I'm a Harley guy now. I've been a sport bike guy for a long time. Finally broke into Harleys when just that tuck position was just too much. Now I seem to really dig it, but I've always missed the performance of a sport bike. There's nothing like being on a leader bike and just cranking that throttle, going full bore, banging through the gears, leaning hard into a curve, and being able to hit the binders and have it come down to a reasonable speed. You just never got that with a Harley. They tried with the V-Rod, and then the V-Rod is kind of like, it's water cooled, it's so far out there, just doesn't really look like a Harley. Doesn't give you that classic cruiser thing. These new ones, they're all based on the Softails. Everything is interchangeable. It's kind of like a bunch of Legos. If you buy a Fat Bob and you decide later on you want the look of a Heritage, everything swaps over. You can put Heritage luggage on it. They sell touring pack luggage. You can switch the bars. You can switch the controls. It's all plug and play. So that's an option for you. When you go to the dealer on the 2018s, they're not going to want to deal much. They didn't want to knock anything off the price of the bike. Nothing. They only had one 114 in the showroom. That's how I round up with black. It was the only one. They had a single 107. It was in white. That's it. 2 bikes, whole showroom. And they said they had trouble getting those. They still haven't replaced the 114 that I just bought. Now, they wouldn't deal on the price of the bike, but you can pressure them like I did, and I got them to come off a $750 gift card. So I was able to put that into buying the sissy bar, buying the pad. I've got a luggage rack coming for the back. So, if you go to purchase one, just know you can lean on the dealer, even if they won't come off the price. Beat them up for a gift card for merch. At least get yourself something out of the deal. So I'll keep updating it, and as I do things to the bike, we'll have a few little vids. I've got a Screaming Eagle street tuner coming for it in prep of doing an intake and pitching that exhaust. All the exhausts right now are on back order, pre-order. So whenever they become available, I'm going to scoop one up, and then I'll have the tuner to adjust it. With the sequential fuel injection, you make any changes, you've got to tune it. They have pre-canned tunes that you can download directly from the Screaming Eagle site for Screaming Eagle parts. My guess is they'll work fairly decent to kind of get you a baseline tune, and then you can data log and adjust. They have this new thing called a Smarty Tuner. It's like $400. It puts wide bands in where the narrow band oxygen sensors are, and gives you a really crisp, clean tune, so that when you go back in, you modify the VE tables, the air few tables, all that stuff. You've got a broader data pool to pick from, and when it makes the adjustments. So I might look at getting a Smarty tuner. We'll, you know, see how funds go. But all right, we'll catch you guys next time. Later.